Spoiler warning for Honkai Star Rail up to the end of version 2.3 of Pentaconi's Trailblaze mission questline. If you have not reached the end of that point in the story and do not wish to be spoiled, click off and return once you have seen everything that will be covered in this video. Disclaimer: the footage I used for story content in this video was borrowed from other sources. Here's the list of channels and content creators I borrowed footage from. Also, if I get anything wrong, let me know in the comments below. With out of the way, let's begin the analysis of Boothill's lore and character.
There's no reasoning with you bunch anymore.
Tactica, you know how it is. Hate to dismiss any mistake. If it ain't right, then you must be kidding. Jokes misled because you're now slipping. Oh, bleed mine, then I give a fix. Simply blast it, it ain't a trick. Just one click, then a second click. Rest is, oh my goodness, your history. It ain't a mystery to entry. Just that I'm not so intrigued. Don't get it wrong, son, I'm a sweet treat. Bam, 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 have a nice dream. If it ain't proper, it's incomplete. Make you a shiver because you like a heat. Stop taking chances, it's real steep. Watch when you sleep, cause mine's not free.
Boothill is one of my favorite characters in the entirety of HSR. The instant I first saw his design, I knew I was going to be a big fan. Meanwhile, most of the fanbase's reaction to his drip marketing was...
Who?
Even in universe, Don Hung had a hard time believing Boothill was a Galaxy Ranger. It was rumored they fell victim to the vengeance of Genius Society member Dr. Primitive, though Boothill claims what really happened was that the Ranger simply went off the grid for a long stretch of time. When he arrived on Pentaconi, Boothill sought to hunt down Acheron. She posed as a Galaxy Ranger to get his attention and reach out to him, so to speak. Acheron may claim Bootill's affiliation is merely a cover, but it's clear just from this action alone that being a Galaxy Ranger must hold some level of importance to Boothill, so it makes sense to start this analysis by going over the faction he belongs to. The Galaxy Rangers are a group of vigilantes who travel throughout the universe to hunt down evil and uphold justice. According to the explanation Boothill gives to Don Hung, the Rangers barely follow the conventions of a typical organization. While they all follow the path of the hunt, each ranger carries their own sense of righteousness. The Rangers rarely communicate with one another since they all work rather elusively. What unites the Galaxy Rangers as a collective is a fundamental bottom line.
Never bully the weak. Never kill the innocent.
As long as a Galaxy Ranger can manage to never cross that line, they're free to operate however they please. Although they may not act much like a group, the Rangers do take pride in their faction's name and values. If a Ranger were to fall below that bottom line, or someone were to lie that they're a Ranger, they'll be quick to enact vengeance on them. They also have burial artifacts, shine up a light to signal the fall of a hero who honorably served the Galaxy Rangers. Rangers from across the cosmos will follow that light, driven by a shared purpose to uphold justice and not let a hero die in vain. All the Galaxy Rangers are people who volunteer to be part of the group. They aren't chosen by an eon or scouted by already existing members. With that in mind, why exactly did Boothill volunteer? The answer is revenge. Boothill was an orphan baby, crying while lost in the snow of the planet Aragon Efersol. I hope I pronounced that right. The baby was fortunately found by a pair of cowboys named Gray and Nick. The two men would adopt the baby, loving and protecting him as equally as all the other kids under their care. From his two fathers, Boothill learned to be a cowboy just like them, gaining status and respect as he grew older. One night, Boothill found a baby lost and alone, just like he was. Following in his parents' footsteps, Boothill would adopt the baby girl and bring her home with him. Boothill's time of happiness would come to an end when the IPC's marketing department visited his planet and began stripping it of its natural resources. The IPC were way more technologically advanced compared to the people of the planet, so the armed guards easily wiped the floor with and killed many of the natives when they tried to fight back. Boothill sought to find the head honcho who started this conflict, hoping to bring things to an end. To do so, he stole an IPC worker's uniform and snuck onto the ship at night. When he reached the core cabin, he saw the figure of a man telling his subordinates to use military force and, quote, bring civilization to this world. With a shiver going down his spine, Boothill ran off the spaceship. Just then, the IPC began raining down cannon fire and scorching the land black. By the time the cowboy returned to his home farm, it had been set ablaze. Gray, Nick, his foster siblings, his daughter who had just learned to walk, all burned to nothing but ashes. The horrific sight he witnessed that night would be a scar forever carved onto his soul. Boothills are cemeteries in the Wild West that were the burial grounds for gunslingers, those who violently died with their boots on. After his home planet was bombed by the IPC and everyone he loved died, he deemed himself a dead man walking, which is why he gave himself this specific name. We don't know what his original name was, but according to his first character story, it meant loaded gun in the ancient language of his planet. The IPC would cover this incident up, reporting an unknown disaster struck the land, and would use the black ore of the planet to develop and sell devastatingly powerful weapons. But Boothill knew the truth. What he needed were the means to make the corporation pay. That was what led him to volunteering to be a ranger. As described in his third character story and in his signature light cone, he briefly experienced death before being born anew as a cyborg. He miraculously survived the operation, one that the doctor claimed most who underwent died in the process. Boothill ironically claimed he made it through since he already kicked the bucket a long time ago. What actually keeps him tethered to the world of the living are his strong emotions, which have never dissipated even after the loss of his human body. It was his unforgettable hatred towards the IPC in particular that served as a light that guided him out of such a dark limbo. As a Galaxy Ranger, Boothill constantly attacked and avoided the plans of the IPC, especially the Marketing Development Department. The ultimate target of his revenge was one man, the man who led the charge against his planet, the head of the Marketing Department, Oswaldo Schneider. However, no matter who Boothill went after and what info he could find, he couldn't get a single solid lead of Oswaldo's whereabouts. The primary reason Boothill went to the planet of festivities wasn't to hunt down Acheron, it was to tail the IPC. His goal was to find members of the IPC who also had a disdain for the corporation and or Schneider, having them work as inside men to gain more solid info for him. And he seems to be a good judge of character to strike a deal with Adventurine, the IPC member whose life was also ruined by an event that Schneider had a hand in. Boothill joined the Galaxy Rangers because it was the only option he had left. His loved ones were all taken from him without a shred of remorse. He has nothing left to truly live for. As long as he follows the bottom line of never bullying the weak or killing innocents, he can do whatever he wants. Through being a ranger, he can freely pursue his revenge. And of course he'd never cross that line of morality. If he did, he'd be no better than Oswaldo and the IPC. Fork Oswaldo Schneider, me and my partners hate Oswaldo! Lying beneath his goofy yet badass demeanor, Boothill is a lonely man with a deeply tragic story. Definitely up there as one of the most tragic backstories in the game so far. Due to the IPC's growing prominence in the story, I'm sure Boothill will continue to play a substantial role even after the Astral Express leaves Penacony for the next planet. How his quest for vengeance plays out from here is anyone's guess. The writers could hide in the tragedy of a story, making him lose himself and become consumed more and more by his resentment. However, I sincerely hope that when the time comes for this ranger to have his revenge, he'll have found a new reason to continue living. Thank you for watching this video. This is one part of a series of analysis videos on Penacony's cast of characters. If you want to see me analyze another character from Penacony, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, like this video to let me know if I did a good job. As a smaller content creator on the platform, engaging with my videos really, truly helps me out. Thank you once again for watching, have a great rest of your day, and until we meet again, take care.